well. Welcome to Activate Live. I'm Tanya Hutchins, a communications representative with the International Association of Machinists and Aerospace Workers, otherwise known as the Machinists Union. Our legislative conference is going on this week. It began Monday. We've had a lot of speakers talking about issues important to working families. And this afternoon, we have had Machinists Union members here on Capitol Hill talking about those issues with their representatives, their legislators, and sometimes their staff aides. So to give you an idea of what it's been like this week and the issues that are important to us, we're talking to some of the attendees from across North America. And we are going to start now with Peter. Peter, where are you from?
I'm from Georgia. I'm the president of the Georgia State Council of Machinists, and we're here visiting with Congressman Bishop. We didn't talk directly with him, but we did talk with one of his staff members, and we talked to him about the right to work issue, and we don't believe anybody should be able to be a freeloader. So we appreciate their support.
Okay, I'm going to have you face the camera a little bit more.
All righty.
But tell me, what were some of the issues that you discussed?
Well, some of the issues we discussed is NAFTA. We talked about that in more detail, and they stated that the bishop, Sanford Bishop, was already in supporting that issue, and we don't have to worry about that. No problem. We should be okay. And of course, he also supports the $15 minimum wage across the board, and those are very important to us.
That makes a big difference to families, doesn't it, when they can go from making, $5 or $7 an hour up to $15?
Absolutely, and with that is a working, a living working wage. It makes all the difference in the world.
Okay, well, thanks so much for joining us. We appreciate it. So if you're just joining us, we are here talking to Machinists Union members, and one by one, we're just going to bring them up and introduce themselves, tell us where they're from.
Jeremy Leisner, Local Lodge 4, Patuxent River, Maryland, Vice President.
And what do you do down there in Patuxent River?
I am an aircraft mechanic on the U.S. Navy helicopters, H-60s.
So what's an average day like for you?
8 hours on our feet. It's strenuous. We're inside the hangar, outside on the flight line, a lot of loud noises, and having to deal with both military and the company.
So you've been here at the Legislative Conference. What are some of the issues that have stood out to you that you wanted to go to Capitol Hill to talk about?
One of the biggest things for us and our members down at Pax River is defense spending and made in the USA. We have a lot of aircraft that have the possibility of having components purchased by the military that could be brought in from overseas or from Mexico. We do have one aircraft that is a French aircraft and is brought to the United States in 3 different pieces and put together either in Mississippi or Alabama. And then after it's put together, it is slapped with a USA, made in the USA sticker.
So we would love to have 100% made in the USA.
100% made in the USA for all of our aircraft parts, to include on the commercial side as well.
And I'm sure our Canadian brothers and sisters would love to have 100% Canadian on the products that are on their side of the border.
I would have to agree with that, yes, Tanya.
Anything else you want people to know about the Legislative Conference? What stood out to you with the issues this week?
For us, pensions. I mean, there's a multitude of things that we could, I could sit here and talk about all day long, but I'm sure that there's a few others that would like to expound on those. So with that, I've got Blake Robinson here as well.
Okay, so thanks so much for talking to us. We're going to bring Blake in. Thanks so much. Right. Blake, tell us a little bit about yourself.
I'm Blake Robinson, Local Lodge 4. I am a shop steward at my work center.
So tell us, what have you been doing this afternoon on Capitol Hill?
We were talking to our representative's aide, Mr. Steny Hoyer. We were talking to his aide about important issues, things like NAFTA 2.0, the 40% Cadillac tax, things of that nature. The Made in the USA, we reiterated that to him as well.
And was he receptive, listening to what you had to say?
very receptive, listen, talk to us.
So, how important is it for you to be here, to actually go and fight for these issues that are important to working families?
Oh, it's very important to me because, like, it's the one thing I love. I appreciate getting the opportunity to come, to be able to actually go sit in a senator's office, things as a kid I never thought I'd be able to do. And it's very important to me because it affects us, not only myself, my family, but other working families as well.
So you're really using your citizenship. I mean, it's in action now. What advice do you have for people that haven't been to a legislative conference before?
Definitely go if you get the opportunity. Put your name in a hat. They ask for people, come all the time, and come. It's a good experience.
Okay, I have one shop steward question for you because you're on the front lines. You hear it every day from our members, and thank you for being a shop steward because I know we need good shop stewards. Being a shop steward, how can we get more people to step up and get into that position? I didn't tell him I was going to ask him this.
That's a very tough question.
What made you want to do it?
Self-motivation was a lot of it, and seeing things go on that, I didn't like, that I perceived was not being taken care of. And I decided to throw my name in the hat, running, and the membership voted me in.
All right, so thank you so much. We appreciate it. Blake Robinson, Steward, Local Lodge 4.
Thank you.
Thank you. So we're talking to all of our machinist union members here for the legislative conference, and this afternoon they have been on Capitol Hill meeting with their representatives, or sometimes their representatives' aides, about issues important to working families. So tell us who you are and where you're from.
My name is Charlotte Lester. I'm from Fort Sill, Oklahoma, Local Lodge 273, president there. This is my first experience to come to Legislative Week. It's been awesome. We got to meet with both of our senators from Oklahoma, well, our aides from Oklahoma, and our representatives' aide, and they were very receptive to what we wanted to talk about. Fort Sill, all the employees there are DOD employees, and so our local lodge represents a vast majority of all workers there. So it's, we have policemen, we have nurses, I'm a dental hygienist, we have teachers. It's a vast array.
Diverse.
Very diverse there. And so one of the issues most of the issues that we talked about were just to keep our benefits and to make sure that we don't lose our vacation, our sick leave, to bring our wage up to private pay wage. And also, Defense Health Agency is taking over most of the military healthcare system. And so we just wanted them to make sure that our jobs in healthcare are secure and that they won't be contracted out, that we can keep our jobs. And
job security is important.
Job security is very important. And so we had a great time meeting with them, and it has been awesome. And I loved it and can't wait to come back.
That's what I was going to ask you. This is your first time.
And it's been a great experience. And now that I've been there and know how receptive they are to listening to us, I will be in contact with them a lot more throughout the year and not just once a year.
So what will you tell your fellow union members when you go home?
Well, we have lots of issues, of course, that we have that the IAM is supporting and opposing, and a lot of people don't know that, and I didn't even know that. And so I'm taking those issues back so people know that, hey, this union, this is what these people are fighting for you, for your jobs, for this country, and that's what they need to know.
Thank you so much for taking the time out to speak with us, and good luck.
Thank you.
Great. All the way from Oklahoma. That's great. So step right with me here and tell me who you are, where you're from.
I'm Jerry McCarty. I'm a business rep for FD1, NEFI FD1, and I'm in the Southwest region. I have people that work for the DOD, Forest Service, VA, and I'm here on Capitol Hill with them this week. We've been on the Hill the last 3 days talking with senators and congressmen from Arkansas, Texas, Oklahoma, South Dakota, New Mexico about federal employees issues.
Especially, did you also talk about like back pay for contract workers?
Yes, we did. We did push that as well because a lot of all our federal people that were on the shutdown that were furloughed, they got their pay. Now they also got a pay raise that took an extra time to get done too. But we do care about our service contract people that did not get their pay. We told them they need to co-sponsor those bills and get these people paid because they are employees as well, and they don't work directly for the government, but they're helping support the government's mission.
You have a lot of NEFI IAM members here. You know, I've seen them all around. What are you hearing about from especially the first timers about this week and how it's been?
Well, Ms. Lester that was just on, it's her first time, and she's my local lodge president at Fort Sill. She is, really excited and eager to come back next year already again. But they're going to a lot of places that are red states that are not normally, union friendly, but they do bring us in and they hear our issues because we represent the voters in their area. So they're really excited and they're getting a lot of good positive feedback.
I'm hearing a lot of people who are keeping it issue-oriented. Mm-hmm. Does that make it easier to talk to, especially if there are senators or representatives that may not be considered, caring about working-class issues?
Yeah, because NEFI and IAM, the both legislative teams do really good putting position papers together and help us get good talking points. So to speak the language when we go on the Hill and they know we educate our members and the people that are going up there, it's really good for us.
I saw a lot of those issue briefs earlier in the week, and they were color-coded.
That's right.
And it just helped. How much does it help to make sure that the legislative team is doing all that research for you so you know that they're getting the facts and the figures?
Well, it's letting us be more effective with our time when we go up on the Hill. We're not just going up there saying, hey, we met with so-and-so. We're pushing real issues that are out there affecting everybody and the labor movement all across the country. So it's super important. That has to happen. If it doesn't, then we don't get our message across.
All right. Thanks so much for taking the time to talk to us.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
No problem. Come on in. And now we have a man with the most perfect mustache in the country, okay? So just introduce yourself, say where you're from.
Thank you for that. I'm Dave Roderick. I'm from District Lodge 141. I'm the political director, legislative and MNPL out of Chicago, although we cover the entire states, Puerto Rico, Guam, Hawaii. And
you have a lot of members here.
We have, we have a lot of members, 145,000 is it? But
so did you lobby this afternoon?
I've lobbied the last couple of days, and I think I still have one more appointment tomorrow. We've been up on the Hill. We covered a lot of territory. I've been doing this for a number of years now, but this is the most productive and positive feedback we've been getting from members of Senate and Congress.
Well, what are some of the issues that you're talking about? I'm going to bring you a little bit closer to me and face the camera a little bit.
Okay.
What are some of the issues that you've been talking about?
Yeah, we covered pensions was a big one. We talked a lot to the members of Congress and Senate over the pension issues. The Faa Reauthorization Bill, being in the transportation industry, was very huge for us. That bill has already passed, is just setting stagnant, and it needs to be implemented. It's very important that they move forward on this bill and get that continued. Also, the right to work states. It's important that the right to work states stop.
Yeah, we try to say it's right to work for less, right?
Yeah, that's the quote. That's right to work for less, absolutely. Also, I was able to do a lot of walk-ins from my home state of Illinois, where I stopped in to Senator Dick Durbin's and Senator Tammy Duckworth's office, along with my own Congresswoman Jan Shinkowski, and I put the list here. There were so many, but
you have an appointment tomorrow.
Yeah, I can't remember who it's with yet, but I do know I have one tomorrow. I'll be here for the rest of the week.
So that's a lot. If you have a list on your phone, you're meeting with a lot of people.
I mean, Sean Kasten, Chuy Garcia, Dan Lipinski. Dan Lipinski's been great with the Amtrak situation that's going on. We'd had a rally in Chicago not long ago with Amtrak about the working conditions they're going through right now and the loss of their jobs. Jan Schakowsky, my own personal one, Bill Foster, he was my past congressman, and Bobby Rush and Danny Davis. So
how long have you been coming to these legislative conferences?
I think I might have come to the first one around 2008. And
so you're 11 years in.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking about that today, how long it would be. But something I do want to add is that, with District Lodge 141's President and Directing Chair, Michael Clem, he has been a strong force behind 141, staying on top of us with the political activities that we do right now. He stands behind us. He gives us a green light for almost anything we need to do that's political, and it's really been the members have really appreciated to see that we are on top of what we're doing right now within our union.
Well, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us. Thank you for all of your efforts lobbying on Capitol Hill for issues that are important to working families.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you. If you were just joining us, we're talking to Machinist Union members. Do we have more that would like to speak? Come on over. We have Dave Lehive here. Dave, you had a lot of members here from District Lodge 141. What kind of feedback are you hearing this week?
Well, I think it's been very productive the past couple of days. I think our members have been doing quite well, talking to Congress and to senatorial representatives up here on the Hill over various issues. The big issue out of the airline sector is the Faa Reauthorization Bill, and of course pension issues. A lot of questions about that we were questioning our congressmen and senators about. I actually got a chance to meet one of my first-term representatives from my home state, Pennsylvania, Mary Gay Scaitlin. We were able to talk to her and touch bases and give her feedback on various issues.
For anybody who has never lobbied before, what is it like? You start by making the appointment?
Well, the first time I really actually learned how to lobby was in Leadership 2. It was a great way for me to understand the process. If anybody is actually interested in doing it, definitely get involved in your local union and request to get training at the Whippet-Singer Education Center. It's a great way to learn about how to lobby on Capitol Hill. But actually going in for the first time, it may be a little nerve-wracking, but you're just there telling your representative what your issues are and getting the point across from a worker's point of view. And I think it's a good thing for us to do as unionists. We need to be active. We need to be out there talking issues and letting our public representatives know that things need to be changed or need to be corrected. So I think it's a good way to do it. I encourage all IAM members to get involved in state and federal policies, and lobbying.
Anything else you'd like to mention?
Nope. I appreciate it. Great show.
All right. Thank you so much. So we are here on Capitol Hill talking to our Machinist Union members who are here for the Legislative Conference this week. Come on in if you're interested. We have members that are returning from Capitol Hill back to the hotel, which is about a block away. So tell us who you are and what issues have you been discussing this week?
I am Donnie Beverly. I am from Calvert City, Kentucky, Local Lodge 1969 and District 154. I would like to say I appreciate the members and their brothers and sisters that put their faith in me to put me here as a delegate. One of the issues we talked about with our representative today was health care. I guess geographically you look at, you face different issues at the table to the forefront, I guess more so than other areas, but for us health care with the Cadillac tax is going to become a big issue for us, because if you're negotiating higher wages and you're losing it on the other end, you're not gaining anything as far as health care cost.
Yeah, because the health care costs keep going up.
Yep, skyrocketing health care is a big issue. We did get some good feedback from our congressman about that. He said he was not in favor of the Cadillac tax, and he was not in favor of another issue near and dear to my heart, pre-existing conditions. So he's not in favor of pushing those two issues. So I felt good when I left there. And when you talk about being a first-timer, I'm a first-timer.
Really?
Yeah, I'm very green. I was excited to be here. It's been an eye-opener for me. I've enjoyed it. I've learned a lot, and I got good vibes from the guy I met with, so, I'm ready to roll.
That's excellent. So it wasn't that hard to go lobby on Capitol Hill?
Well,
but what was it like?
a little intimidating. Okay. Yeah, a little intimidating for somebody from Kentucky, okay? I'm from Western Kentucky,
But you're part of the U.S., though.
Yes, ma'am, I am, absolutely. But Congressman Comer put us at ease, and he's an old country boy. He used to stick tobacco in the fields and haul hay just like I did growing up.
See?
So we touched base, and there you go,
Yeah.
And he said he still wants to eat dinner at the Coon Dog Inn in Fredonia, Kentucky sometime. So
you had a lot to relate to, and I think every citizen has a right to go meet with their congresspeople.
Yes, ma'am, and again, I appreciate what you guys are doing here. Appreciate everybody at the conference, and thank you guys for letting me be here.
Is there any speaker that stood out to you this week in terms of the issues that they talked about? Like, was there somebody really pushing health care when you were listening this week?
Absolutely, and if you're talking about from the political side, Bernie Sanders. I'm a Bernie Sanders guy. I love him. I can't deny what he's done. His past voting record speaks for itself.
Well, thank you very much for taking the time to talk to us, and we appreciate your work up on Capitol Hill explaining to them what issues are important to you, and healthcare for sure is one of them.
Thank you.
So thank you so much. I'm just bringing in people one at a time. Come on in, because we've been grabbing Machinist Union members. Come step right here with me. So tell me, where are you from and what do you do?
Hi, Maureen Kelly from Charlotte, North Carolina, Local Lodge 1725. I am on the Legislative Committee, and I am our Conductor Sentinel on our e-board and the MNPL Chair for our local.
So what did you lobby today?
I did lobby today, but first I want to give a shout out to our local Lodge 1725 because they're having their Guide Dogs of America golf tournament today. They're probably just wrapping it up. So anybody out there that's interested, I'm sure they'd love donations given to local Lodge 1725 for guide dogs.
Where's the tournament at?
It is right there in Charlotte, North Carolina. Sorry, I don't remember the name of the golf place, but
Well, hopefully they raised a lot of money because that's our favorite charity, Guide Dogs of America.
because I've been here lobbying, and of course I have also hit up all the GVPs to donate. So,
Well, tell me, what are some of the issues that you discussed when you were lobbying?
the issues, my main one, of course, is always right to work and healthcare for all. Because right to work, if we can get rid of that, we all know it's a bad thing and it's very misleading.
People shouldn't have to go bankrupt because they have health bills.
Right. And even in negotiating, if we had health care for all, that would be out of negotiations, which it make a big difference in your contract and negotiations. Right now with American Airlines, that's one of the things that they have. They're giving us a concessionary. We, as American Airlines in Charlotte, or the IAM, has a decent health care now, one that we earned out of bankruptcy while we were in bankruptcy, that we got that into our contract. And now American Airlines, as they're making billions, is asking us to go to a concessionary, which would end up costing us more money, even above and beyond the raise they want to offer us. So I just find that appalling, and we have to fight for it. We have to stand and fight for it.
How does it make you feel knowing that you're doing that? You're fighting for it on Capitol Hill.
It makes me feel good. I mean, it's a lot of work. It's hard and it can be tiring, but we have to become uncomfortable and fight for what we want. And I'm hoping people will see this. In 2018, the difference we made in the House. And the other thing, even at local levels, for example, I got involved because Charlotte, North Carolina, we had an actual union member, Braxton Winston from the IATSE union, running for city council. And we got together with the Southern Piedmont Labor Council, and we got him elected. And if you think it doesn't make a difference even at the local level, let me tell you what Braxton did. He fought against the Republican National Convention coming to Charlotte, but he didn't win. But since he was on the council, he was on the negotiating committee for the terms for the workers and everything in Charlotte during that, and he got unprecedented rights in that contract and safety standards for the workers that are going to be in Charlotte, to a point where Richard Trumka even reached out to him and said that at a national level people are noticing what that he got in that contract. So it's at every level of government that we need to be involved and find people to run, and hopefully find more labor and union people to run, because they know what we face every day. They know what we need, and that's what we need.
I found out a few weeks ago that 900 people that were union members were elected to office last year.
Oh, isn't that amazing?
That is amazing. I have to find out how many ran, but 900 to be elected is pretty good.
It is very good. That's a lot. That's a large number to start with, and keep building on that. And
hopefully we can break 1,000 next time.
More people see that and are interested in running, because they know it's their voice. They have to be involved to make the changes for us, because we understand workers.
That's what we need, people in office who understand average working people, working families.
Yes.
So what are you going to take back home with you?
Lobbying out here is really nice. I mean, even I didn't get to see Burr or Tillis, my senators, but I did get to see their staff. And one of them, it was amazing because he's a 24-year-old man. He's only been there for 2 months with Tillis. He came out of the Senate, I think, aide or something. But he even has health problems. He has a pre-existing condition. So it was nice for him to be able to talk to us about that and see that the health issues affects everybody. It's not just workers. It's not just older people. It's everybody. He's 24 years, so.
That's amazing. He's getting started early.
Yeah, and you asked me
what do you hope to take home? Like, what will you tell your members at home if they're thinking about coming next year?
How great Washington is to come visit, first of all, and then second of all, how important it is for them to go tell their representatives things that they need, because they need to see us. Write, call, visit, anything, but be heard.
Thank you so much. We appreciate it. So you have heard a little bit of a taste from all of our Machinists Union members that are here for the Legislative Conference this week. They've been hearing from speakers from Capitol Hill that have come to the Legislative Conference. They have been lobbying on Capitol Hill yesterday and today. Wednesday is the last day of the conference. So we just wanted to give you an idea of some of the issues that were coming up. We heard a lot of them and just what it was like, because we had a lot of first-timers here at the Legislative Conference. This is putting citizenship into action. We have our members on Capitol Hill actually meeting with their senators and representatives or their aides about issues that are important to working families. So we do thank you for joining us. I just wanted to remind you that this Saturday, don't forget, it is Stamp Out Hunger, okay? So that is, I think, I don't know if it's the 26th year, but it's run by the National Association of Letter Carriers. Join a union. And you could leave a can or a non-perishable box by your mailbox this Saturday, May 11th, and your letter carrier will take it, and it will go to a local food pantry. So let's support our other fellow union members, the National Association of Letter Carriers, and they're actually based right around the corner from here. We're at Louisiana and New Jersey, and their headquarters is just right around the corner. So let's hear it for the letter carriers. Let's support them. Leave a can or box of non-perishable food by your mailbox this Saturday. And next week, we are going to talk to Tom Trotter about Infrastructure Week, and our Basic Communicators class is going to be going on as well. So hopefully, we will have them as a live studio audience. So thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you next Wednesday, same time on the same social media platform, 3 p.m. Eastern, noon Pacific. And if you liked what you've seen and heard today, please share this video.